6 years ago, we did 480,000 in revenue.
And this year, 6 years later, you're doing 4+ million.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. They want to start their own business, and I want to hear what it took to do that from you, because I'm guessing it wasn't an easy road.
No, it actually, I've been told no more than I've been told yes.
What does that mean?
I tell all my employees this all the time. I want every one of you to be better than me. There was actually 2 years I only took 2 weekends off for Easter and Christmas. Now
you did that for 7 years, though, Derek.
Did that for 7 years, no pay.
7 years, no pay. That success was handed to you, and I hear that all the time. But I'm gonna go on the record saying no. I handed it to myself.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're at CMP just outside of St. Cloud, Minnesota. We're going to talk to these guys about how they built their business and how they run their shop. Derek and Andrew, so stick around because this is going to be a 2-part series. We're going to get the grand tour starting right now. All right, you guys, today we're launching a brand new mini series called Listen While You Work. And what it's designed for is the guys that are out there every single day working and they need something to listen to, but they can't watch a video. What I'm going to be doing is going out and attempting to interview different entrepreneurs and people from across our industries, trying to pick their brains and bring you the best information that I can get from them. Now, the success of this series will depend on how you guys interact with the video. You see, YouTube's algorithm determines if a video is good or bad, determining based upon what you guys do. So every time you guys comment or hit the like button, it actually helps promote the video. So if you guys think that this is going to be a good series or beneficial in any way, shape, or form, please comment anything in the comments down below. I don't care if it's even the word anything. All of that goes to tell YouTube's algorithm that this is the kind of information you guys want. So without wasting any more time, let's go hook up with Derek from CMP Attachments and let me know what you think of this series. So let's get into it right now. Yeah, we're rolling. I'll be on this side of you. You need to be a little closer. Right. No, you and I don't have to be closer. Andrew has to be. All right, guys, we're with Derek, and he actually is the owner and president of CMP. You started this attachment shop, right?
Correct.
Okay,
yes.
So let's go out into your yard and let's take a look around. But tell me a little bit about CMP. What do you guys do first and foremost?
Well, we manufacture attachments. Most of the stuff that we try to manufacture, we use high-grade material, T1 and AR. We try to specialize in things that people aren't specializing in and don't want to manufacture.
Okay.
So, and we try to manufacture things that cut out the labor.
How long you guys been in business?
We've been in business for 13 years.
13 years. Okay, so if I understood this right, though, Derek, you started in a garage as a diesel mechanic?
Well, I started out of high school as a diesel mechanic. I went to work for a company called MP Next Level. Started there right out of high school. Yeah, and then became their traveling mechanic. And then the last 8 years I was there, I became their shop manager. And I started CMP when I was working at MP Next Level.
So you got some tools and attachments over here. So, but this story, you started as a shop mechanic, a highway, basically a diesel mechanic. How did you transition to run it? Well, you got what, 12 guys?
We got 14 guys now.
14 guys. Yep. Okay.
2 of them are gone today, but I don't know. I've always managed people and I've been really good at it. And one of the things that I always liked is ever since I was a little kid, I love building stuff. You know,
so
I
like this stuff over here.
Yeah, like this, we have the patent on our Hydro Bucket. It's been a good unit. Actually, this is my model, and it's actually one of the first models that we ever built. Yeah, it's a great tool. When I was at M&P, we did a lot of restoration, and we hated the skid loaders because you had to have a bucket, and you had to have a soil conditioner, and you had to switch back and forth. So we used, a lot of times, we used the tractors. And we had all the skid loaders on the job, and we had some tractors on the job. We were doubling up on equipment. And that's where I came up with this. So I built my first one out of my garage, and that's how it started, was actually this unit.
What do you have in gross sales per year now?
We're going to be just under 4 million this year.
4 million, okay. So in 13 years, you've been doing this for 13 years?
Been doing it 13 years, been doing it full time for 6.
Okay. basically 6 years, you went. I'm gonna guess. Where were you at when you were doing it part time?
When I left my first year 6 years ago, we did 480,000 in revenue.
And this year, 6 years later, you're doing 4+ million.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. And so today, that's what we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out how you built your own attachment company, and how you took it from going from out of high school as a diesel mechanic to running a fabrication shop to marketing to running the business. That's our goal. We want to hear your story so that when these guys are thinking about what can they do with their lives, guys don't mind being diesel mechanics, but a lot of guys have hopes and dreams that go beyond just being a diesel mechanic. And they want to be an entrepreneur. They want to start their own business, and I want to hear what it took to do that from you, because I'm guessing it wasn't an easy road.
No, I've been told no more than I've been told yes.
What does that mean?
Well, every time we've always been focused on getting dealers.
Okay.
And at the beginning stages, I couldn't get anybody to be a dealer for our product, so we had to sell direct. Now it's the opposite. We got people calling to want to be a dealer.
Okay, good.
So it's actually really fun now. So the success, like how I feel it has been, like I've never given up. Like when everything is coming down and it feels like, oh my gosh, how am I going to handle all this? You have to come up with a plan on how you're going to get out of that wood safely. And I feel that planning, and probably the next most important part is surrounding yourself with good employees.
I think that's key.
It is. And the most important is, like, if you talk to all my guys, I try to treat them how I'd want to be treated. That's the number one.
Be the leader you would want to
Yeah.
follow. That's one of my sayings. I made that up. I wrote it on my board. Be the leader you would want to follow. Treat them the way. Yes,
correct.
Absolutely.
So I think a lot of what has built my business today, I'd be naive to say it's just me, because it's not. I would say it's all the good employees I've got. I've really paid attention to hiring good guys that care about succeeding this business.
But I want to jump in here, because there's a lot of guys out here that have good guys, but if they're not motivating them and driving them to get the most out of them, then they're leaving a lot of potential on the table. So if they're not pushing a guy to become better themselves, then they're not going to their utmost potential, I think.
I would agree with that. I would agree.
And I think that might be kind of what you do, if I'm listening correct.
It's really hard because everybody's motivated differently.
Exactly.
Nobody, like, not one person you can motivate this way. And like, I treat these guys and tell these guys, like, they'll be like, well, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that, we got to get him to do this. A lot of times it's just putting people in the right place. Like, they might not be good over here and they don't like it, but let's find something that they exceed at and they're really good at, and let's find a spot in our business where we can plug them into.
Okay.
And when they plug in, the goal really is, and I tell all my employees this all the time, I want every one of you to be better than me. Because if every one of you guys are better than me,
yep,
we're gonna be more successful than just me.
Right.
So you try to find all these people. I find all these guys that are better. We already got guys that can weld better than me. I've machined. I got guys that can machine better than me. I got guys that can manage the shop better than me. So it's really cool to see.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I actually have people in place where I can go get advice from. The only situation that we don't have in place yet is nobody can design stuff better than me. Like, I have that, like, when I look at equipment, I just love equipment, like operating it and getting in it. And when everything I do is hands-on. Like, I spend a lot of time in the equipment, and I'm like, gosh, how can I make this better? How can I tweak this, do that? And I think that'll probably be my hardest challenge, is how do I find somebody that loves equipment more than me? And so that will probably be my role in this company.
So you're graduating. I call it the graduation process, where you're graduating up and you're getting people to fulfill those spots inside of your business so that you can graduate to the next level.
Correct.
Is that?
Yeah, I would say I enjoy designing equipment and coming up with new ideas, and that'll probably be my place in the business.
Okay, so let's talk about the transition period, because I think this is a key element for guys that are going to try to duplicate and, the success you've had, build a great team. You were saying something off camera that I want to make sure we hit on, and that's how you actually started while you were doing it part-time before you went full-time. This is good, you guys.
Yeah, so like, obviously I started off, I took a $2,000 credit card loan because I'd never had money, never had any investment into this. I bought a welder. Okay. And the first thing I built was dethatchers. I'd already invented these, but it was just...
Was this in your garage?
This was in my garage. So I started manufacturing 3-point dethatchers and zero-turn dethatchers. And I did it nights and weekends. I worked 50 hours a week. I came home every night and I worked till 10, 11 o'clock. Then on the weekends, I worked. There was actually 2 years I only took 2 weekends off for Easter and Christmas. That was it. Like otherwise, every weekend, Saturday, Sunday, I worked.
Yep.
And that's what it took to get the business going. It's really hard, and I can tell you at the end, it's so worth it. Like, now
you did that for 7 years, though, Derek.
Did that for 7 years, no pay.
7 years, no pay, busting your butt.
Yes.
Nights, weekends, and I repeat this because a lot of guys aren't willing to make that sacrifice to do what it takes to get here. They look at somebody like you and think that success was handed to you, and I hear that all the time. But I'm gonna go on the record saying no. I handed it to myself.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think it would have. If I wouldn't have put in that work, this business wouldn't be where it's at today.
No, there's no way it would be where it's at today.
I always tell everybody too, like, we're very innovative and creative. We can manufacture stuff, what I call lean manufacturing we're a profitable, the last 5 years, we've been a profitable R&D company. We've developed over 180 products. So, I mean, I look at how much we've done. We got a long road ahead of us. We're looking at robots now. We've got products that are taking off. So we're looking now, okay, now we just need to focus on mass manufacturing all the products that we've developed in the last 5 years.
So there came a time while you were working part-time that you got an ultimatum.
Yeah, my wife, I was 30 years old and we had 2 kids at that time.
Yep.
And my wife was extremely supportive through the whole thing, and she just sat there and she looked at me and said, "You got to decide. You either work full time for a company or you got to go on your own." And I looked at her and I said, "You're right." And so that next Monday I went in and put in my 2-week notice.
So it's not an easy journey.
No, it's extremely hard, but I tell you what, it's been extremely fun. And there's not a lot of things I would change when I look back at it. Like, there's not much I would change too. Like,
so let's talk about where you are right now, though. Right? There's not much you would change. You've been doing this for 13 years. Do you work as hard today as you did back then to get started?
I would say I the truth, no.
Okay.
Do I work hard? Yes. I need, now as the business has grown, I need to have a little bit more of a clear mind. So I work hard, but it's more internal working, not external.
Okay, so that's still working, no matter what you say. You're telling me that if you sit in that office all day long, even if you're not out busting your butt, you don't come home mentally exhausted and pretty much fried out?
Well, when I say work hard, before I did physical labor all day long, like I didn't get in till 10, 11 o'clock. Now, when I go home, yes, I still work. I'm thinking about the stuff I'm drawing, and like that never ends. When I go on vacation, that never stops. You cannot shut that off. As a business owner, that's one of the sacrifices you have to be willing to make. You have to be willing, when everybody else is off having fun, I'm generally, even though I'm having fun, I'm still thinking about stuff. Yes. You're thinking about Monday, and you're thinking about all the projects you got going and how you're going to make sure you got to have the plan. So when the guys come up to you and wonder what they're going to do the next week, you have to have a plan ready for them.
So I want to talk a little bit about your team. Do you motivate them to work as hard as you possibly can, or I'm guessing nobody works as hard as you, or do you have guys that will work as hard as you?
I do think I got guys that work as hard as me, yeah.
So I've got one guy that will work as hard as I do, and I think that's the key, is to find that motivated guy that it will work right alongside you, and then you've got to actually, how did you foster that in them? Was that just natural, or did you get lucky?
No, I think the thing we do different here is I make it fun. Like, we're just a different shop. Like, when the guys come here, I'm not corporate, like the guys come in late. I understand they got families. You know, for us, it's a little bit easier. We're under one roof. So like if somebody wants to come in an hour late, I don't care. As long as you get your stuff done, like I don't care. Like I'm not going to sit there and hound them. As long as you get your stuff done. If they want to leave early,
all right.
If they take a long break, we don't use punch cards. I told the guys, like, I want to trust every one of my employees, so you write your time down. If I can't trust you, I don't want you working for me.
All right, I'm going to jump in here because that's how I work too.
Yeah.
All right, as long as everybody shows up at the same time, I don't care. As long as you get your jobs done, I don't care. No punch cards.
Yeah.
If I can't trust you, then you're the wrong person to have on my team. I have had that been taken advantage quite a few times because I'm a pretty trusting individual, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to change the way I work, because when you find the right core group of people, they love it. They thrive underneath that,
Yep.
right? And I've seen bosses where I just laugh at them because they're evil. I
Yeah.
mean, I videotaped one over my shoulder once. I couldn't show it. He's yelling and screaming at his crew. So let's talk about how you differentiate yourself from the competitors, the other attachments out there. Because I mean, there's a lot of companies that are making attachments right now. So what do you do to set yourself apart?
Well, everything that we do, you know, if you look at all of our attachments, they're all a little bit different. I fix all the problems. Like, I'm not an inventor. I'm a problem solver.
Okay.
I look at the problems that are with some attachments. Like, take that soil conditioner for a 3-point.
Okay.
You know, like the problem is with the other brands, they use a shaft, the gearbox, and then goes down to a chain. And when you hit a rock and you hit stumps, you got all that linkage and all that drive line that you're shocking. And you know, I've been in this industry, and like you're constantly working on the chains, the shafts, the gearboxes are going out. Where this is simple, you slide a hydraulic pump on, we have a relief valve, and we got a motor inside the drum. When you hit something, it's just going over relief, no different than your loader over curling on your bucket. It just goes over relief. There's no damaging parts. So we just look for items like this that guys want to use 40, 50 hours a week.
Okay.
And we say, okay, let's give them a unit that's going to actually perform 40. People are making money with this and putting food on the table for their families. That's how I look at it.
Yep.
And like this guy that buys this and does soil conditioning and does ball fields and whatnot, like that feeds his family. That's how he gets to work, like gets there. Like this is more important than just building an attachment. This, I feel it's like when we build an attachment, I tell the guys, it's more than that. We're partnering with a landscape company, with a construction company. So it's our goal to make sure that they stay running and they make as much money as they can. We want them to make more money than everybody else that's not using our stuff. So the goal behind everything is I look at, okay, can it be more profitable on the job? Is it going to save labor? Because that's key. That's what's going to set us apart from another attachment company is our units are going to last longer and they're going to perform better.
So, words of wisdom from a guy that went from nothing, starting in his garage. 13 years later, you're doing $4 million, but just in the last 6 years, you went from $485,000 to $4 million. You've tenfold increased your company. Words of wisdom to give these guys that are going, I want to be like that. What do they got to do?
They can. The truth is, you can't give up. Can't give up. You can't give up, and you gotta hire good employees.
That's so. I smile from ear to ear as you say that, because that's all I've ever said. I'm not smarter. I'm not better. I just work way harder than anybody else that I've ever seen in my life. But I tell the guys, I go to seminars and they're like, hey, how do you succeed? I said, you start Monday at 5:30 and you stop Saturday night at midnight. And they're like, nobody works 24 hours a day. I says, no, but when I go to bed thinking about work, if my phone rings in the middle of the night, I still answer it. And when I wake up every single morning, I'm at work. When my kids are at the ball field, I'm watching
You're working.
them. What?
I know.
I'm working.
And you got to have a supportive wife. That's pretty important too.
You gotta have a supportive wife. So next, we're gonna get to talk to Andrew, one of your guys. and he's going to give us a shop tour and show us what happens behind the scenes at CMP Attachments. Is that cool with you?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So you guys, CMP Attachments, so check them out. Now, I think I'm going to be taking a few attachments home and testing them out. What attachments should I be?
Well, I would like to do a rotary grapple, and I think the Hydra bucket is something that, you know, it's not for everybody, but it's for a lot of people also.
Okay.
And I think that one just needs a good response of what it's good for, so people are educated. Because if you're going to go out and do a large area, I just want people to know like this, what it's used for and where it benefits. And if you're doing this kind of work, it's probably not the right item. Then you do need a soil conditioner.
Okay.
So I think that's a good one to educate people
What about
on.
your forestry head? Because you have a forestry head that I've
We do.
never seen anybody. Is there another one like it? Because I've never seen one like it.
No, there's not.
Okay.
I did it because I was like, you go out in the woods with a rotary cutter, and you cut a tree down, and how do you move it? It's in the way.
Right? Yeah.
And then the Fecons or the Seppies, they're good units, but they're so expensive, and you can't afford to go out. You know, you got to be doing that full time to afford to purchase one of them. And yeah, they work great. But then when you cut a big tree down, how do you move it?
So your forestry head actually has a built-in grapple to it.
Correct.
And I want to give that a shot because I've never seen anything like it, and I think that honestly just needs some exposure, because there's a lot of guys that aren't doing this day after day, but they do it occasionally enough where they need this and I see where you're doing that with a lot of your stuff. You're putting two things together.
Correct.
And solving a problem.
That's the goal, and that's my goal on that forestry head. Really was something between a brush mower and a forestry head.
Yep.
And then something that they could go out in the woods and they could make trails all day long and have everything there. They could move the wood, they could cut a tree down, they could move it. I just put myself, if I was going through the woods making a trail, deer trails or clearing, that's what I would want. And if there's a lot of guys that don't want to spend that kind of money. This is about half the price of a forestry head.
Yeah.
So we're right in there between performance. I'd say it's between a forestry head and a rotary.
Yeah.
And price and everything. So it's something halfway in between.
All right. We're going to see a lot more from Derek. Derek, thank you.
Yeah.
CMP Attachments. God bless you guys. This is going to be the new series called Listen While You Work. We're going to put together a series of videos so that you guys, if you can't watch it, you can still listen to it and still get a lot of information. So thanks for launching the series with me.
Yeah.
God bless. You guys go get them, and do me a favor, check out the video, one here, one right here. Hit the subscribe button, and then there's a bell notification up in the corner. You've got to hit that, otherwise YouTube won't tell you when I've uploaded a new video. That's all I got today. Next time we're going to be hanging out with Andrew inside of Derek's shop. See you then.